Hi.
Oh, hello. Welcome to My So-Called Podcast.
I'm Eric Spiegel.
I'm Gary Linton.
And we are bringing you the best podcast on the internet, My So-Called Podcast.
Well, I think it's the best podcast on the internet, you know? That's my opinion anyway.
What do we do on this podcast, Gary?
We go back to a week in the 90s. We look at an album and a movie that were released roughly that week. And we talk about it, because we're stuck in the past.
Oh, well, you don't have to get into the becauses.
Oh, okay.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
We go back to the 90s because everyone loves the 90s. That's the because.
Yep.
And this week, where will we be going?
We are going to talk about John Singleton's Higher Learning and Susan and the Banshees, Rapture.
It is not Susan.
Siouxsie. You're right, I said Susan? Oh, man. Okay, we'll keep that in.
Okay, let's just keep calling her Susan.
No, Siouxsie and the Banshees.
She's grown up.
Susan.
She likes to be Susan.
Siouxsan.
She went by
Susan.
Siouxsie Sue, though. So
right,
her
Siouxsie
name is
Susan. Susan, Siouxsie, and the Banshees.
Susan, Siouxsie,
No,
Sue.
I think Susan and the Banshees.
Susan Lucci?
Oh, who's this person talking?
Susu Studio?
Susan Lucci and the Banjos.
Yeah. Well, we do have a guest.
Yeah, we have a guest. Friend of the show, Alicia Spiegel, has agreed to come along. Welcome, Alicia.
Thank
Third
you.
time on the
Thank
podcast. Not counting greatest. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It counts.
It counts.
The greatest hits count.
I like it when I can hide behind a crowd, though.
Yeah,
So this is going to be
Right. Well,
tricky.
this isn't a personality test. This is just a podcast. So you know everything about you, but welcome. So we're going back to an era where it was January.
Okay. 1995.
And it was 1995. It was about the 17th of January, 1995. And as you mentioned, John Singleton released his third movie, Higher Learning. And Siouxsie and the Banshees released their 11th album, Rapture.
This one goes to 11.
This one goes to 11, and then the band breaks up.
Yep.
So their final album. I don't know if we've done too many final albums.
We have not. We've done a lot of sophomore
We've done
efforts.
a lot of sophomore efforts,
Yeah.
but not a lot of final albums. But this is the
Well, they
the
started
swan
out
song.
in 76, I want to say. Was
Yes,
that right?
76,
Yeah.
76
I read
to
the
96.
first sentence of the
So, yeah, they were around
Wait,
for...
hold on. That's a good 20 years.
That's at least 2 decades.
Yep. Or,
I want to say.
respectable.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, and you're talking about a
Almost
band that basically
fourscore.
had its roots
3-score.
in the Sex Pistols punk era.
Yep.
And then finished in the grunge...
Britpop, at the height of
Britpop,
Britpop for them.
grunge
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's moving through a lot of eras, including I think probably what they're most famous for is sort of 80s sounding stuff. But that's getting ahead of ourselves.
Ooh. I don't know. Okay.
Are you guys announcing an 80s podcast? Is
Yes,
that what
we
you
are. That's what's happening here.
No. What I meant was it's time for trivia.
It's not going to be called, our 80s podcast could be called 80s something. After another television show.
I think you should work on that.
80 something. I don't know.
It's like 30 something.
80 something. It's
30?
a bunch
No,
of
no,
people.
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
It's about a bunch of people getting lost in a retirement villa.
Wait, what now?
Because 30 something is a show about people in their 30s.
But it was
navigating their childs and their lives and their... But 80-something would be like...
Yeah, I get
Where's my soup?
Oh, now
my
I get
soup
it.
is cold.
Yeah, you're right. 80s something. That's what I said.
80-something would be my soup is cold.
Right,
Yes.
but
I think
80s.
that would be on the list on the dry erase board.
Okay,
I'm not
okay,
sure
yeah, that's
that
fine.
would be
You know, that's
about the podcast you're not going to have.
Noted.
all right. Okay, yeah. China 80s. No, China Beach is what I
Oh, no.
How about 80s exposure?
That's pretty good. That's
Was
pretty
that in
good.
the 80s?
No.
No.
Neither was China Beach
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
30-something.
You guys are
were they both
messing
in?
with me.
What about 80s Nest? Or 80s Girls?
Right.
So, the trivia score, if you can't remember, if you're not a diehard fan, it's 19 to 17. And we played at 20. So this week, if Gary gets 1, he wins.
All right.
If I get 3, we tie, and next week is the first tiebreaker.
Okay.
But...
Are there going to be steaks?
If I get 3, there's steaks.
There's always steaks.
Can we do like vegan steaks this time or something?
That sounds gross. If I'm a vegan, why do I want a steak? I'm going to have some plants. You know what I mean?
Salad.
I feel like true vegans don't want the vegan sausage. Like, come on.
Right.
Just have some beans.
They have this new hamburger.
Decided to have...
Well, I had a Boca burger for lunch today and it was very good, but
you're not
wasn't
vegan.
Expecting it to taste like a burger. So
well,
maybe they love their vegan
synthetic
steaks.
burger now that apparently has
it's like $23 in a place in Manhattan, right?
Yep.
I'm down with growing the meat in a petri dish, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go fund me that.
Why don't you?
So do you think the loser or the winner should go first, Alicia?
Loser.
Okay, so the way it works is you help both of us. So we're asking each other questions, and we can either use
I will be able to,
or reject your help or lack thereof.
Okay.
So it's a lot of...
You're going to reject my lack of help?
Well, we deem it a lack of help and thus reject it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Gary?
All right, I'm going to ask you, what reminder of Dead Man Walking is on display in Susan Sarandon's guest bathroom?
Siouxsie Sarandon?
Yep.
Siouxsie
Sarandon.
And the band shits. I'm going to say Susan Sarandon's
I don't remember if
Best Actress Oscar.
That is correct.
In the toilet?
No, it's not actually in the toilet.
I got that right.
Yep. Just not really.
You know what else should be in the toilet?
No.
Susan Sarandon's political opinion.
Oh, we weren't going to go there.
But
is that them booing you going there?
No.
Well, some of them were booing Susan Sarandon. Some of them were booing me for making it political.
On both sides.
We could tell by the signs they're holding.
Yeah.
Right. So, Gary, what restaurant chain known for its big-breasted waitresses was ordered by the EEOC to hire men?
This question's right up my alley.
Wait, what's the EEOC?
Which Alicia, do you have a guess?
I think it might be Hooters.
I'm gonna go with Hooters. No, wait, Show Me's. No, it's Hooters.
I forgot about that place.
What is going on?
You got it right!
Yay! For you and your political beliefs. Yay!
Okay, I guess we'll keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Gary, ask me a question.
Oh my gosh.
What Seinfeld holiday, for the rest of us, ultimately inspired a Ben and Jerry's ice cream flavor?
Festivus.
You're not even gonna ask, Alicia?
Yeah, I was sending him brainwaves.
Oh, okay.
We're married.
Gary.
Yes.
What hit musical was subtitled A Tap, Rap, Discourse on the Staying Power of the Beat?
What? What?
It was subtitled...
No, don't start the timer.
A Tap, Rap... Give it to us again.
A tap, rap, discourse on the staying power of the beat.
I don't know what that means at all.
I don't either. I'm just going to go with Rent.
You already won, so...
But he might have tied.
Stomp.
Close. Bring in the noise, bring in the funk. Yeah.
It was close.
How do you feel about yourself right now, Gary?
I don't feel good. I don't feel good.
All right. Bring it.
What former presidential candidate was Monica Lewinsky's next door neighbor at the Watergate?
What? I heard the end. But...
Former presidential candidate Monica Lewinsky's next door neighbor at the Watergate.
Are you out of time?
Bob Dole.
That's correct.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Wilson.
Wow.
Wow. You knew that. Wow. It's on the Flophouse.
Oh, yeah.
We love you, Flophouse.
Yep.
Because you're listening.
I don't know if
Elliot, Stuart, and Dan.
Maybe Dan, not Elevator Stewart.
Oh. Okay.
You ask me one more?
Gary. What booze outfit started serving tunes after buying MCA Records for $5.7 billion?
What, booze outfit?
Booze.
Yeah, beer. Oh no, you have a
There's
guess?
other kinds of
Booze. Yeah, I need more questions that concern boobs. That's the only one I got right. Large-breasted.
What about rhythm and booze?
Yeah.
What about rhythm and booze?
I'll take it.
I think you should just guess a major booze label.
Okay.
That's helpful, right?
Yeah, let's go with Jack Daniels.
The answer is...
Zima.
Seagram's.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's tied.
So if I get this right...
No, that was it. You
I got all three right?
You got all three right.
Which three did I get?
You got Festivus, her Oscar, and
Wow.
Bob Dole.
Wow.
Bob Dole.
Okay, so next week we'll bring you the tiebreaker to end all tiebreakers. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be stakes.
All right.
Sometime in the future.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Right.
There will be stakes.
There will be stakes.
Starring Kit Harington.
Right.
And what's her name? Mila Jovovich.
I don't even get it. What?
I don't know the casting, but
And
okay.
computer
Yeah, I
generated
think there will be
monsters.
blood.
Yep. So
But
everybody's in the...
There Will Be Stakes is directed not by Paul Anderson, but by Paul W.S. Anderson, the director of Mortal Kombat, and Event Horizon.
That was a piece I was missing.
Was Kit Harington in one of those?
Yeah, he's in Pompeii.
Oh, okay.
We gotta watch that.
And Resident Evil, right?
Well, I've listened to the song Pompeii, right? Isn't that a
Yeah,
song?
that counts. Yeah.
Deo.
Our 10-year-old liked that song quite a lot.
Deo. He's 11.
When he was 10, though. That's what I meant.
Oh, so whenever we say our 10-year-old, that's just referring to when he was 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody's in the 90s mood after those trivia questions.
Yeah, Bob Dole.
Exactly.
Seagram's.
Yep.
Booze outfit.
Hooters.
Booze.
Hooters. That totally takes me back to my high school job.
Susan and the
Just
Banshees.
kidding.
Susan
Sarandon.
Susie Sarandon.
Siouxsie Sarandon.
Next time we go bowling, that's totally my name. Siouxsie.
So, what we like to do to start off the questions are talking about Susie and the Banshees is trivia. Or no, not trivia. Either or, Eric.
That's true.
Yep.
So,
We're not gonna do the
Oh,
top
we did top 10
songs?
songs. You're
top
right.
10 albums.
Top 10 albums.
This week we're going to do the top 10 albums.
My bad.
So, if you were going to a record store, Gary.
Yep. I did that.
You might.
I would.
Was it Sam Goody? Goody got it?
Goody
Street
got
Side
it.
Records.
Street Side Records.
Yeah.
If you were going to Euclid Records.
CD
Best
Warehouse.
Buy?
CD Warehouse.
Um,
Best Buy sold.
They had
Musicland.
lots of them.
Yep.
You're going to Musicland. In this
I'm
particular.
not familiar with Musicland.
It was at Crestwood Mall.
Yep.
It was right before I went to the curvy part of Crestwood Mall.
Aww.
Number 10
Yep.
on the wall, Blockbuster Music, would have been No Need to Argue by the Cranberries.
Oh, previous My So-Called Podcast, episode 2, I believe.
Number 9 would have been Wildflowers by Tom Petty without the Heartbreakers.
yeah.
I don't like you guys doing the albums, because then Eric doesn't sing.
You belong among the wildflowers.
There you go.
You belong somewhere. You
Isn't that-
feel free.
Isn't that his big hit, though, as we all get stoned off that?
You don't know how it feels.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't know how it feels to be me.
Oh, yeah. Me or free?
Let's get to the point. Let's roll another twinge. Remember that? They did that backwards on the radio?
No, I don't remember that.
Number 8 is Big Ones by Aerosmith, and I'll just be like,
Ooh.
I was mad when I met you. Now I'm
Were those songs on that album?
I think so.
Big
That
Ones
was,
is the greatest hits.
Yeah.
90s
Okay.
greatest hits
Those
stuff.
songs are everywhere.
Yeah.
This
Especially at
past
Hooters.
week, we went to one of the biggest used bookstores in the world. A friend of the show, Alicia Spiegel, and I did. And I got the Aerosmith autobiography.
Much to my dismay,
I
let
was
me
buying
tell
a
you.
bunch of stuff, and some of it was highbrow, and some of it was lowbrow.
Which was Aerosmith's autobiography?
I don't even like that music,
She's
but I
like,
guess
what are you doing?
I guess it might be
You
interesting to hear the
love the ride.
stories.
At,
Yeah, it was pretty good actually.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good ride. That's
Yeah.
true. So, see?
Okay, a little more respect.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 7, MTV Unplugged in New York, Nirvana.
Oh, yeah. Jesus doesn't want him for a sunbeam.
What was the big hit off that?
All apologies. The
Not that
acoustic version.
No, I think it was the Bowie cover about a girl. Right?
No, it's I don't know.
Oh, The Man Who Sold the World.
The Man Who Sold the World. Yeah,
Is that Bowie too?
yeah, that's Bowie.
Yes. Okay.
You're the one who
Oh,
I know, I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
Okay,
Kind
Smashed
of
by the
sorry.
Offspring. They were huge, right?
Yep.
I won't sing any of them because they suck. Hell Freezes Over by the Eagles. One friend of the show, Paul Wegman's first CDs.
Favorite album. It's his favorite
Dookie
album.
by
Still?
Green Day will say, When I Come Around.
You're not gonna.
And then-
Don. That's a long
When
view.
masturbation's lost its fun, you're my
Yeah. See, it's all coming back to me. Thanks, guys.
Number 3, 2 by Boyz II Men. Let's don't wait till the water.
Hey, you remember when Boyz II Men stole Josh Wagstaff's?
Was that the story?
Boyz II Men stole Josh Wagstaff's girlfriend.
No,
That's
it wasn't
my.
Boyz II Men.
Yes, it was.
Was
Yeah,
it?
I'm pretty sure. it
Number
was.
2, Vitology.
Oh, Better Man. Yeah, Better Man.
Number 1, Pearl Jam's third album couldn't knock it out of the number 1 spot. The Hits by Garth Brooks.
Wow.
Wow.
Surprising. Forgot about him.
And the thunder roars, and lightning strikes, and I beat
And then
my
the-
wife,
No.
and I'm a bad
Oh,
guy.
I
I
was
play
gonna
the wife
do,
beater in the video.
Thunder rolls and the lightning strikes, and the cold front comes down from Canada, pushing this weather storm across the United
And
States.
then we'll have a high pressure system
all just
that
over
comes
there.
up from Mexico.
High of 80 in Miami.
Right, bring an umbrella on the way to work.
There you go. We fleshed that out. That's a good bit, Alicia.
Yeah. Yeah.
The singing weatherman. There's a 40% chance of hail
Is this something
tomorrow.
that exists? Or,
No.
Okay.
Original.
And so you should probably park in the garage.
bring a number. You said
I think you need to listen to that song a few more times and get the tune in your head.
And the thunder rolls, but it might be hot. So wear zip-up pants if you're going on a hike.
should be clear this weekend.
So if you have any plans to go to the water park, should be fun. Everything will be clear
send some
for
birthday-
the football game.
He ends it by sending some birthday wishes. That's what weathermen do.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
and let's send some birthday wishes to Pearl, who's 103.
Brought to you by Smuckers, right?
That's right. All in the song. That's all the song.
Brought to you by Smuckers. So, Gary, how do we like to introduce the album? We've sufficiently immersed ourselves in the trivia and the albums of 1995.
Oh,
Well, I think we
Right
messed
back
up
in
your
95.
either or though album. Oh yeah, we've been messing up. That's fine. I'll do either or album.
Okay.
My either or. Alicia.
Oh no.
Yeah, you have to ask.
Okay.
Either this is a pretty good swan song for Siouxsie and the Banshees, or they should have kept on going and making music. You know, either way. Or you can talk about whatever you want.
Whatever. The weather some more, maybe? You're so sweet, Gary. Well, I think I would have to know more of their previous music to know how to compare. I really only listen to this album. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You know what album was big?
I think they should have kept making music forever.
Yeah.
I think they should have a comeback.
Well, you know what? The Cure, we're speaking about contemporaries. The Cure is a contemporary, and they keep going.
Did the Cure start in 76?
Yep.
Wow.
No way.
78, it was early around that time.
But, okay. So you would say they needed to keep going forever.
I would say that about anybody.
Okay,
except
so
Aerosmith or Boyz II Men or...
Okay, well, so at least we know they're above those people. Should we say, was it a good swan song then? I mean, everything has to end. Was it a good swan song? You need to know more, but did they go out on a high note or like...
that's a better question.
I'm waggling my hand back.
Yeah.
Waggling? You're waggling your hand?
This is a professional waggle.
Thank you.
It looked more like an amateur.
We'll post that on our YouTube channel.
Well, I don't know how to answer without giving away my whole opinion.
/YouTube.
You give your own
opinion.
Yeah.
I thought it was, fine. I didn't. It didn't really grab me. So
you didn't listen to.
Maybe they should have regrouped and put another album out just for me. As their swan song.
So you didn't listen to Siouxsie and the Banshees. You weren't a Banshee head, is what they're called.
No.
Banshit head. That's what they're called.
I mean, I knew that huge song that Kiss Them For Me.
And how about?
And I liked it.
Peekaboo. I'm not doing that one justice.
I don't even know Kiss Them For Me.
You don't know Kiss Them For Me?
I don't believe that. Really?
Okay. Was that the one that was like, dum, 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 dum.
I don't know. I think you should play it, Gary.
We care a lot. Oh, wait.
No, that's making it more.
Yep, that was it.
This is a good, fun song, I think.
Oh, I need to turn it up.
I feel like if you were alive, you heard this song.
You don't know this song?
No, we gotta get to the chorus.
Yeah, here it is. Maybe.
I like it.
Yeah, this is their biggest hit, probably.
I don't know it.
Okay.
No.
How about Peekaboo?
No, I like it, though. I like that song.
Peekaboo's not even on
That's on the album previous to this one.
94, yep. The Superstition.
That sounds like something I'd be interested in listening to.
My
91.
Oh, okay.
That was 91. That sounds ahead of its time, actually.
My college roommate was big into that album.
So you know that album?
I do know that album, yeah.
Okay, let's stop talking about that album. Let's revisit that album for a different podcast.
I did like the Tearing Apart song. That kind of hooked me a little. Bless you.
This is Peekaboo.
Oh, yeah, I totally know this.
Do you?
Yeah.
So they... Stop. Okay.
Who, Mary or Alicia? Your college roommate.
That's what Gary said, not me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. My college roommate was Eric. His name was Eric Ludlow.
Not this Eric.
No.
Neither one of your college roommates was into that.
No.
So my college roommate was real big into that. So what did you think about, did you guys listen to the extended version?
That's all that's on.
The one that included the Showgirls song?
Yes, the Showgirls song, New Skin.
Well, New Skin, yes. That did not impress me
No,
whatsoever.
that song was so long, too.
The Rapture is real long, too.
Yeah.
It's like 9 minutes.
And is that's the spoken word one?
There's like a song, and there's like a break. a musical break,
Uh-huh.
and then some spoken word,
Yeah.
and more song.
That was too... I didn't care for that song. And they named
Did it make you want to watch the movie again, though?
Showgirls? Yeah.
No, Rapture's
I watch Showgirls every
New
night.
Skin
okay. That's what I thought we were talking about. New Skin.
No, I do watch Showgirls every night.
Oh,
every night. It's like to go to sleep.
Exactly.
On your VR goggles.
You need it.
You're just like, good night, wife. Now I'll plug in my VR goggles for my relaxing hypnosis.
That's right.
Elizabeth Berkley.
3D
That's right.
Elizabeth Berkley in the nude.
Kyle McCall.
Oh, man. One day I'll write a book about the films of Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
He's such an interesting director.
He is.
So I'm going to throw something out here.
Okay, throw it out.
I feel like this is sort of trippy Pretenders.
I was trying to think of who it reminded me of.
She's got a little bit of a Chrissy Hind thing to her voice on this, which she doesn't in the 80s stuff.
Yeah.
But
how much else did you listen to?
I listened to this album many times, and then I listened to sort of the greatest hits many times.
Yeah.
But on this one, she really does sort of sound like Chrissy Hind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that raw rock kind of a thing. Obviously, it's the trippy, experimental kind of musicality where it's like we're taking you to a more ethereal plane.
Right. And I wonder if that has to do with the rise of Britpop and your Elastica,
trying to be just a little more poppy.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, they had to change. I mean, there's no way. There's not too many bands that have lasted that long.
No, you got your Rolling Stones.
U2.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I did it.
U2. Gary also.
Are we just going to list bands that have been around for a long time now?
List bands that had popular albums for 20 years.
Pearl Jam falls into that. Well, I don't know. Are they still popular?
No. I think they're a legacy act now.
Yeah. They're still releasing new stuff, though.
That no one buys.
Yeah.
Like, I think the weird thing about the Siouxsie and the Banshees, from what I could tell, or Susan and the Banshees, as you call them, is that they gained
just more formal.
More status.
Trying to show respect to a lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a misogynist. They gained popularity in America more towards the later 80s. They weren't like big here in the 70s, 80s when they were kind of a thing here. So it's like most people who know them, in our generation at least, know them from their like early 90s stuff or late 80s stuff.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because that's pretty different than what they were putting out there in the 70s and then the 80s. And they come from sort of a punk background.
Right. I mean, they're your goth forerunners.
Sure, it was like
punk. This album does not sound like that.
No. This is more like
no.
Everybody agrees that this doesn't sound
goth. Hey, you get out of here, dude.
You take it back.
No, I wouldn't say that this reminded me of The Cure very much at all. Actually,
I'm surprised to hear you say that. Yeah.
But some of the other hits really are very 80s sort of feel to them. But I think that they sort of evolved and changed over time, and that's how it worked out.
Like if a shark doesn't keep moving forward, it will die. Mm-hmm. And a band is a lot like a relationship.
I need that on a t-shirt.
A band is like a shark. There's teeth in the front. And the tail is towards the back.
That's right.
In the middle.
Is this what your 5-year-old told you?
Right.
So... And this shark is named the Rapture. You're welcome, America.
My so-called podcast.
Okay, so this band falls into a category I would call, I didn't really know them very well. Even less.
Clearly, you didn't even know the
less
hits.
well than you guys.
Yep.
And so, would you say that they fall into the I'm happy I'm aware of them, I'm glad I'm not aware of them, or this makes me curious about their other stuff?
Are we rating them right now?
No, this isn't the rating system, but like, would you put them in? Because I definitely didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
I knew their name and that's it. They were not headlining, but the second act on the first Lollapalooza. So they were a thing in America. In the early 90s.
Well, I think that 91 album, Superstition, with Kiss Them For Me, that was a big hit.
And to a lot of people, they might have been just like, oh, here's a new band.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because it's like, here's a new song by a band I've never heard of before, but they've just been around for 14 years at the time.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't even know that.
Yep.
So I would say that I'm interested in listening to that one with the good songs on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe some other ones too, because like I'm sure, like they're, as far as I can tell, critics love this band, like all their albums.
Even this album?
Yep.
Okay. Because, I mean, it has some highlights, like Oh Baby we played. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
It's got an 80s vibe.
You know, the first time I heard that song, it annoyed me. But then the second time, I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
It feels like it should be in like
a movie.
Grosse Pointe Blank or Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion or something like that.
Right.
Like an 80s, 90s movie.
Right, it needs more 90s stuff. And it should have been in Higher Learning when the girls were. But no.
It should be in the part where he's walking up the stairs with the rifle. He's putting it together.
Oh,
baby. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yep.
I think it fits Christy Swanson's character more.
I think so. Because
do you mean Christy Swanson's non-character?
Okay. Yep.
I don't think I will re-listen to this much too. I won't go back and listen to Rapture much more.
No,
but you
I'm a
might
little
listen to
kind
some
of
other.
maybe a little bit interested in their other stuff.
Yeah.
A Siouxsie and the Banshee Greatest Hits is probably something that
That's what I was thinking, Gary.
would be.
Let's go to Musicland tomorrow. We can buy CDs
Sounds
together.
good.
You just admitted that Musicland is a thing.
That was just for you guys.
Oh.
Thank you.
I don't believe you.
Appreciate it. After that, we could get a burger at Hooters.
No, Eric would totally go to the Great Escape steak.
Okay.
Isn't that the
Great
steak place?
Escape?
Yes,
The
there
Great
you go.
Crestwood?
Oh, okay.
There's no Hooters at Crestwood, buddy. We could go to Chevy's. Get a little guac.
Yep. Just a little guac.
That's all you're gonna get. I don't think your waiter is gonna like
their own
you.
tortillas, dude.
It's true. It's legit.
So 4 stars for albums, Alicia, if you haven't listened to the podcast, is well-deserved classic status. 3 stars is like, this is okay. It's good. It's great. It's not that good. It's okay.
Wait, it's great or it's good?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
2 stars is like, this is music that happened that people would not be offended by. 1 star is like,
Offensive.
pretend this is not music. It is not me. I deem this not to be
I want
music.
to poke my ears out.
Well, I feel really good giving this a nice solid 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it grew on me a little, but it still was not grabbing me enough to make me put it on tomorrow, you know.
Sure.
But I do think I'm going to listen to a greatest hits kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be noted that, like previous podcast artist, the not the Tragically Hip, but the
Hipply Tragical.
Ha.
who do we have that was like a big influence on everybody else?
Pixies.
Yeah, the Pixies.
Yep.
So like that, there's a lot of bands that will say Siouxsie and the Banshees is a big influence on them.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to give that a little bit of respect. And
Funny you should bring that up because the band I just made, Siouxsie and the
Whoa.
Banshees, a big influence on us.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
What is it called? Gary and the Susans? I'll give it 2 stars.
The Sharks.
Yep.
It should be the Sharks.
The
I give
Sharks.
this band
Christy.
I'll give this album 2 stars.
I'm going to give this album 2.5 stars.
We did it.
We did it.
And
We
I'm the
reviewed-
nicest person.
Yep. 3 stars. It's a little high for Rapture.
Wait,
No
is
judgment,
this
though.
like 30 something or what is this?
This is Tearing Apart by
Oh,
Siouxsie and the
see?
Banshees.
It sounds like a TV show right here, doesn't it? Like the beginning of Doogie Howser, the grown-up years or something.
Oh, yeah. It does sound like a Doogie Howser. Good call.
Doogie Howser, the grown-up years would be so weird. It's like, hey, I'm a doctor. And we're like, we know you're 40.
But I've been a doctor for 20 years.
I've been a doctor for longer than I should have been a doctor given my age. And they're like, will you get to work, Doogie?
I need to take out Wanda's
normal
appendix.
age
You've already taken it out.
All right, we'll be back, but it will still be January of 1995, so put on your parkas.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Yo. reputation so I can change the nation. See many faces, but none of them mirror me. Show my ID to the punk ass security. Step on the quad, looking for the track squad. Walk by a bitch who thinks she's God. Passing me a flyer, talking about the Messiah. She wanna take me high.
Whoa! Welcome back to my so-called podcast. I'm Eric Spiegel.
I'm still Gary Linton, and we still have with us
Alicia Spiegel.
Oh, Alicia, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
So this week we are going back to the 90s.
Like we do
so
every
weird.
week.
Weird. But this week it's 17th of January, 1995. And we are going back to the week where John Singleton...
What did he do?
He released a movie, sort of.
Stop it.
Called Higher Learning.
Yep.
And Gary, do you want to tell us about the other movies you could have gone and seen?
Yeah, I'd be happy
the
to.
Multiplex?
Yep. So, well, excuse me. So number 10 that week, Far From Home, The Adventures of Yellow Dog. I don't think I ever realized it had a subtitle.
Far From Home, The Adventures of Yellow Dog.
Well, Far From Home isn't just a...
Is it a sequel?
You're thinking of Fly Away Home.
No.
I don't know what Far From Home
Far From
is.
Home is, I think, just a dog going home, I think.
So maybe Far From Home, The Adventures of Yellow Dog might be a sequel or a prequel?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know
Well,
what
if we can find another album that came out that week,
It's
we
a
could
movie.
definitely watch
This is a
it.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I hear
a
what
nice
you're saying.
pairing, you know?
Yep.
Oh,
we
that's
can-
true. If
yeah.
we could find a movie, we could watch
Far From Home, The Adventures of
colon, The Adventures of Yellow Dog, which
Yellow
I've
Dog.
always wanted to watch.
Yellow Dog.
Oh.
Number 9
It's
is...
interesting type of dog.
That
Yellow
week
dog.
was Jungle Book, The Jungle Book.
Oh yeah, that's the live action Jungle Book.
But not the
That is after the Disney animated Jungle Book, but before the CG animated Jungle Book
I don't...
with real people in
Okay.
it that came out 2 years ago.
All right. Wow, we're real close to what we had talked about last week.
Yeah.
Because number 8 is Little Women.
Right? And
And
Beth is dead.
Death is
I got
dead.
upset.
Yeah.
Yada, yada.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yada. Number 7 that week was Disclosure.
Ooh, virtual reality.
Yep.
You guys have done
Sexual.
that one.
Talked about
You know
it.
what? Whenever there's sexual harassment, there's problems on both sides, Gary.
That's true.
Oh, no.
The woman
true.
wore a short
That's
skirt,
gonna-
and the man
yeah.
had a penis.
But she sexually harassed him. That's the thing with Disclosure.
Oh yeah, both sides. Michael
Both
Crichton,
sides.
thank you.
Yeah.
Michael Crichton was like the 1990s Scott Adams.
Number 6 that week was House Guest.
Which we thought was maybe House Sitter, but it isn't.
No, is that the kid in play?
That's
No, it's
House Party.
Ah, okay.
Right,
No.
which is not to be confused with House, which has George Wendt.
Never heard
Wait.
of that one.
Yep. Okay. Or The Guest.
Which is a great movie.
Yep. Number 5 is Nobody's Fool. Oh.
That's a 4-star
that sounds
classic
familiar.
forever. Nobody's Fool.
Is that what we were talking about? No. We were talking about
Keep going.
Ed Wood. But that's not out this week. Number 4 is Dumb and Dumber.
We
No,
should
just Dumb
probably
Dumber.
visit that at
Yeah.
some point.
You should probably have a different guest.
We did Ace Ventura.
We're going to talk about it tonight.
Uh-oh.
Ace Ventura is not good and horrible. I feel like my memories of Dumb and Dumber are more fond, but we should revisit it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Demon Knight.
Ooh, William Sadler,
Okay.
Billy Zane,
I'd say not
the
that.
Crypt Keeper.
Oh, yeah, he's hilarious.
Demon Knight.
I'm a big fan of his. Number 2 is Higher Learning, the movie we're talking about tonight.
Wow.
It made $13,276,662 in its first weekend.
Is that a lot of money?
Yeah, that's a lot.
I feel like that is actually a pretty substantial amount of money for this kind of movie.
Yep, I think so. 1,409 screens.
So not a ton of screens.
No, that's pretty.
At the
average.
time, it was pretty. It's
Yep.
pretty. It was a wide.
Yeah, it's pretty average
Wide
for the
release.
time. I mean, Legends of the Fall was number 1, and it was on 2000 screens.
What week in its release?
You know why?
Why?
White people are in that movie.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. It's fourth week.
Racism.
Fourth week.
You're not damned. Legends of the Fall. That's my Anthony Hopkins. You're not damned. If you haven't seen Legends of the Fall recently, there's a part where Anthony Hopkins has a stroke, and all he says is, "You're not damned," to Brad Pitt, and it's incredibly moving.
And Brad Pitt's like, I need to comb my hair.
He's like, "I'm damned."
I need to comb my
Anthony
hair.
Hopkins is like, "Au contraire." You're not.
Wow, you said it again.
He keeps saying it. Here's this back.
Okay, thanks. So, Gary, we were
Yes.
talking about higher learning.
Yeah.
John Singleton burst onto the scene with his hit movie, Boys in the Hood, which showed America that we could make entertaining and thoughtful hit films out of the violence that was going on between gangs in South Central Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Boys in the Hood did create a genre. What, with Menace to Society?
Don't be a menace to society while drinking juice in the hood.
Set It Off.
Juice.
Juice, yep.
But Boys in the Hood unequivocally was praised by everyone as a great movie, if not a great movie, a good movie.
Yeah.
And he followed that up with this stink bomb, Janet Jackson's starring Poetic Justice, starring R.I.P. Tupac Shakur.
Tupac. It was a hit, though.
Ooh.
It was still a hit.
Yes, agreed.
Okay.
It was still a stink bomb. What I don't know. I've never seen it actually.
Oh.
But people don't critically stink bombed. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay.
And so his third movie, there's a lot of writing on this. Like, so he had the he had the first album thing under his belt, and he had the sophomore effort, which sort of failed. And this is his, here I come. I'm the guy who made Boys in the Hood.
Right.
I'm making this third movie.
Mm-hmm.
And either he established himself, Alicia, as a filmmaker to be reckoned with, or he established himself as a one-hit wonder that made Boys in the Hood.
You're asking me?
Yeah, you have to
Yes,
ask. Yeah, you're
yes.
the guest. You have to answer this question.
Well, I've never listened to this podcast, so I'm not really sure.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
That's a lot of our listeners have never listened to our podcast.
Right, that's the majority of America.
Exactly.
I think I've seen Boys in the Hood, and I think it was much more impressive than this movie, Higher Learning. So I would have to say the latter.
Well, right. I think you got to kind of discuss, what did he do after this? I know he did Shaft. He didn't wait.
Oh, that Shaft remake thing?
Yeah. And I went and saw
No. But my either or takes place in the 1995 verse.
Okay.
Where you don't know what he does after this. So you can't say, did he establish him?
And I didn't see Poetic Justice, so...
I mean,
Can't
I would
answer to
watch that. Tupac is a poet that likes, I think, lollipops
I know.
is all I know.
I
Probably
know
more
Janet
to it
Jackson's
than that.
name is Justice, isn't it?
Sounds like we know a lot.
Yep.
Oh, thank goodness for us. So let's not talk about that because we don't know about it. But let's talk about, did he establish himself, Alicia, as a creative force to be reckoned with this movie?
No.
Okay.
He's lucky that he got any work after this.
This is kind of a mess of a movie. I have to agree. I think his ambition is there. He is telling stories like Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice, as a African American two leads. And this is a story that I know Spike Lee did School Days, but
Have you ever seen that?
I've not actually
like to
seen
watch
it.
that.
No.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
But this is he's telling a story of a young African American. Half of a story.
Right.
I think that's part of the problem with higher learning is so Omar Epps and Christy
you should probably
Swanson.
explain that. Mm-hmm.
So, Gary,
Yes.
what is higher learning?
Omar Epps, Christy Swanson, and Michael Rappaport are 3 freshmen that
Go to college.
Yeah.
At Columbus University.
Columbus University in California.
In Columbus State, Columbus.
United Columbuses of Columbus.
In America.
In the state of Columbus, in Columbus, America.
No, I guess it is America because Ice Cube talks about and then the flag. The flag.
It's definitely America.
Yeah,
Come
it
on.
opens on the flag and ends on the flag. So, the United States flag of America.
Right.
And we see there are 3 stories through their freshman year.
Okay.
Sort of.
And they each get a
Well,
mentor.
I would say that... Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So they each get a mentor.
You get
Michael
Omar
Rappaport gets a...
Cole Hauser as a skinhead.
Cole Hauser.
Becomes a skinhead. And then...
I feel like your summary of this movie has more structure than this movie does.
Yes, I know. You're explaining things to me right now.
I'm like,
even
oh,
notice
yeah.
that
Christy
parallel.
Swanson gets
Jennifer
Connelly.
Connelly.
And then Omar Epps gets Ice-T as a mentor.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lawrence Fishburne.
Nah, well...
So Omar Epps has 2 mentors.
Yeah, I guess
Wouldn't you
so.
say?
And that
Yeah.
was the thing I was going to say is I feel like Ice Cube is kind of his own his 4th character. He's a mentor, but he's also a protagonist in a way.
Yeah,
He even gets a coda at the
he's
end
not
where he's getting his
equal.
picture taken
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
end,
but
so.
Graduation.
there's 3 other people that get their picture taken
Well-
and we don't... What's their story?
Well, like you said, this movie is a mess.
Yep. Yeah.
But that is an interesting idea. 3 people go to college. They're very different. They have very different experiences. They all have mentors. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not what happens.
That's-
And
No,
that's
watching
what
this
I
movie.
liked about this movie, embarrassingly, I'm admitting, when I first saw it, which I don't remember where or when or who with. I know it wasn't at the theater,
Are
but
you
it couldn't have been.
sure you saw
I'm
it?
sure I
Yeah.
saw it because back in the day I was impressed. I think when Eric and I
Right.
met, I told him that I really liked that movie.
I didn't watch this movie back in the day because I lived it.
In which character
I
were
was
you?
a freshman in 1995. You know?
Right.
So,
Well, yeah, so this is a great thing. We talk about this podcast
no,
as being
96 we were freshmen.
Yeah.
revisiting
I was like, oh,
No,
revisiting kind of the way we think about the world and the way we think about music and movies. And I know for a fact that Alicia thought this was very good when she first saw it as a teen.
A lot of people
And
did.
her best
We
friend
can't-
had the poster on her wall
Oh, I
in
didn't
college.
remember that, really?
Yeah, and Lisa and
Okay, we probably
Meg's...
rented it then. There you go.
In Lisa and Meg's room, they had the poster on the wall with Ice Cube and everything.
Yeah.
The red poster.
Right.
They also had
Because-
pictures of Chippendales and fireman
Sure.
outfits, so
Well,
they
true.
might have just thought
Were you in
Michael
my
Rappaport
dorm
was
room?
super hot or something. I
Michael
don't know.
Rappaport's face is on the poster. He's not that hot. No,
He sure
you
is
told
skinny
me.
back then.
You thought it was deep. And the
Yes.
thing is, it does come
It
across...
wants to be.
Okay.
It
This
could
was a-
have been.
In your defense,
It's like,
I'm
movie-
not dogging you on that.
oh, it's fine.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's like the kind of movie that a 17-year-old would have made if they could.
Well-
that is concerned about these topics.
and exactly, John Singleton was only 26 when he made this movie.
But Boys in the Hood is so good.
But that is the movie he was born to make.
it's
I guess.
literally Write What You Know.
right. Well, and this was also
This is
half
like-
of Right What You Know.
Yeah.
It's sort of like write what you think you know.
Right.
Write what other people know.
But don't put any actual thought into figuring it out.
Right.
Okay, but it is half-assed. Like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
clear.
so half-assed.
Like, it is a total, like, outline of a movie. It's like the characters are there, the action is there, like you said, the structure is there,
Right.
but nothing is fleshed out. Like, I don't know any of these people. And I think...
There are so many characters, too.
The only thing that I think that I understand about this movie is Ice Cube. I think that Ice Cube's character is fairly interesting and fairly dynamic. And I think it might just be based on the performance of Ice Cube. Because I feel like he's a good actor. Like, based on the amount that he has to do in this movie and the amount that I respect his character and enjoy his character. Like, if he's on screen, I'm enjoying this movie. For sure.
Well, no, he was a highlight of it.
And he has a history of reading certain texts in racial history and knowing, like, what it's like to be a freshman and what it's like to think you know it all and all that. He's interesting. And I think, honestly, like, just, I don't want to rewrite history, but if it were a movie about Omar Epps' character and maybe Tyra Banks' character and Ice Cube's character, and we flesh all those three people out.
That's the story that John Singleton should have told, is the African-American experience at this predominantly white university.
But as he made it... I'm sorry, Yuri.
No, go ahead.
He ended up trying to explain to us how white men are motivated to kill other people.
Right,
like,
exactly.
No, you do not know...
Right.
How this happens.
You know...
Yeah.
And it is almost a Michael Rappaport had a pretty good string there in the 90s after he made this movie. And whether he's a good actor or not, I don't know. But he does pretty good in this movie.
He's a douchebag in real life.
Yeah, right. And Cole Hauser is pretty good in this movie, I felt. And, the fact that he's trying to get... Are we supposed to sympathize?
So there's a movie that's made for TV for kids. It's a literal after-school special in the late 80s, early 90s called The Wave.
Okay.
And it's about kids who learn this special hand signal called The Wave.
Okay.
And if you know the hand signal, you're in the group. And if you don't, you're not. And the people who don't know the hand signal are bad. And there's a teacher who teaches this thing to his kids, like his students, and it actually catches on. He's trying to teach them about fascism, but it actually works.
Okay.
And it becomes like all the teenagers become fascists. And it's supposed to, the after school special is supposed to teach you about, like, how this is bad and this can happen and blah, blah, blah. It's not actually bad. And I think that a lot of social studies...
The movie isn't bad?
No, it's not that bad. It's okay.
Okay.
The social studies teachers that show this in the 7th grade or whatever, like, I can understand why they would teach this. But, like, this Michael Rappaport version of fascism is so stupid. It's like... It's like The Wave, but stupider. And the thing is, I would say... Okay, I would have said, let's say, a month ago, this is really reactionary and way too over the top.
Well, right.
However,
yeah,
in the past 5 days before recording this
Tuesday night,
it turns out that there are, like, literally skinhead fascists within the country. And so...
They're not skinheads anymore. That's the crazy thing.
No, they have a Macklemore haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
They're Macklemore heads. Except for Macklemore's like all about gay marriage and stuff. But they all have the Macklemore haircut.
And hip hop and everything like that. So,
Richard Spencer has that haircut, but it's the Macklemore dude, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, all I'm saying is that it's weird because it's like it was common knowledge amongst 7th graders when I'm in the 7th grade. That, like, okay, fascism, bad.
Bad.
And I would say when I saw Higher Learning when I was in the late 90s, I would be like, this is like teaching me the thing I learned when I was in 7th grade about fascism in a very after-school special fascism way. Like, this kid isn't liked by people, he's kind of bullied by black people, and then he's easily seduced into the white supremacist ways, and they're just waiting in the wings. This white supremacists are just ready for him. You know?
Yeah. He just comes up to him and says, hey, you want to go get a drink?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, wow, that's the way it happens. But it's like, maybe that's the way it happens now. Like, what the hell do I know?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Like, I would make fun of this movie for being too reactionary and over the top.
Oh, yes.
But in the world we live in now, it's kind of not.
Well,
which
right.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
people should watch Higher Learning.
I feel like in 1995, this movie was, like, stupid and made by a child.
Right.
And about things that the child didn't understand.
Well,
but in 2017, it's kind of like, yeah, okay. Maybe you need to understand that maybe you shouldn't be a racist.
Christy Swanson's story and Michael Rappaport's story is...
terrible.
Yeah, so Christy Swanson, of course, because what other story are you going to have about a female college
rape
freshman? Yeah,
that she gets raped.
She gets raped.
She finds comfort in the arms of an older,
Yeah.
wiser woman.
And
lesbian.
then they almost play that, yeah, and then like the lesbianism is bad. You know, Regina King is looking
Alicia
down.
has a boyfriend too.
That's true,
And so
right.
They don't go totally that way.
Yeah.
I kind of feel both ways about this. I feel like the rape as portrayed in the movie, I don't know a whole lot of the history of rape in cinema, but the rape as portrayed in the movie is maybe a little bit more honest about
That's what I
the
thought.
way date rape
I
might
imagine
happen.
that, yes. My only problem with it is the editing at that point.
And the swirling camera.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
I think it would have been a hit more at home if his camera would have just kind of like let that played out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with that, but I also feel like I haven't seen that a lot. Like, it's like almost an after-school special kind of a thing. Like, really just showing what the difference is between rape and consensual sex, even if it started as possibly consensual. Like, it's
Right.
not...
Right.
It's not a terribly... And she's good, and she's a good actress in it. I think it works out pretty well. And I also feel like there's something a little compelling about the fact that he is immediately remorseful and he knows he did something wrong.
He's Stan
and
from
he
Mad Men.
wished he hadn't done that and all that stuff. Like, all that I actually feel like is sort of interesting
impressive.
and,
Yeah.
and well
For
made.
this movie.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
like, it shouldn't... It's, like, from a different movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. It's like a hodgepodge of 16 different movies that are all put together,
Yeah.
right? You're going to make a neo-Nazi movie. You're going to make a movie about a black guy going to college. You make a movie about what it's like to be a woman at college. You're going to make a movie about learning from a professor that's an African. You're going to make a movie about, like, learning from somebody who's...
Did you feel like that was Morpheus before he became unplugged from the Matrix?
No, because Morpheus didn't have a stilted African accent.
Well, that's
my.
why. That's
Yeah.
because he got unplugged from the Matrix. He's like, wait, I'm not West Indian. You know?
That was so disturbing. Well, and the thing is like, the other thing about that's really disturbing is that he was one of the character's dads in Boys in the Hood. And as a good dad of a character that lived in the bad neighborhood, he would teach him about things like, here are the billboards that say, we'll buy your house at cheap prices. Let me tell you about gentrification. Let me teach you something about what this means. And that was his role in that movie. And it was fine. He was good at it. But like in this one, it's like, I am the professor who will teach you in this crazy voice about the things.
It was, everything was, there was no subtext to this at all.
Yeah.
This is the third time I'm going to lecture you now.
Yep.
Right. And
I didn't feel like
And
the
it's
advice he was giving him was very straightforward or helpful.
Right. Yeah, it was almost like Lawrence
He said, like,
Fishburne's
stop
character.
feeling sorry for yourself and work hard.
Yeah,
well, I
right.
do think that there was that, right? There was the whole, if you're at college, don't expect that you'll have a free pass.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work past this and get something out of it. Why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of really interesting idea of
Yeah.
I think if you come and you're the fastest runner, you know, and you're pretty smart, why are you here at college? Why did you come here? You're the fastest runner, so you had a scholarship. You're learning some things. You may be able to get B's and A's. Why are you here? That's an interesting story. But they don't really go into... That's the thing. They don't really go into anything. They don't go into
any of it.
The only way that you can enjoy any character is by how good the actor is.
Right.
Because no character has a character.
Right. Yeah.
They're just ciphers.
All sketches. Yep.
They're ways to show...
And I think that Christy Swanson's was the worst.
The absolute worst. And
she
God
wasn't
bless
bad,
her.
you know.
God bless her.
Omar Epps, his character was much better.
Well, and I would say it's as far as saying it's pretty sexist. Like, you got raped, so now you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
And every, like, feminist at college is a lesbian.
They did portray her as very strong and caring, though. I mean, she organized this whole rally.
That's true.
It's not like she just sunk into her bed.
But even the music cues for
yes,
Swanson.
That was so distracting.
Well, every Christy Swanson and Jennifer Connelly...
African Americans too. You know, it was like gospel music as he was coming back to his coach, like begging for his spot back on the team. Did you notice? Well,
and Christy Swanson is Tori Amos or Liz Phair only.
Tori Amos,
Liz
Phair.
Rape music. Yeah, I've been raped music. Yeah.
So that was almost laughable. And
what is with the scene where she seems to be sleeping with the boy and the girl? You said you thought she slept with both of them. What is that supposed to mean? Because it's like she's having sex with two people at the same time.
She was having a relationship with both of them.
I think so, yeah.
They weren't both in that bed with her, right?
No, that was clever editing. And because when she's up on stage, she looks at both of them.
Yeah.
So I think she was having a relationship with both of them.
That, like I think I already said, might be kind of good that they didn't show her as just going off of boys after this event.
Yeah, apparently the Jennifer Connelly, Christy Swanson story had more that got cut. Thank God.
I know, so offensive.
Well, it was already a very long movie, is what I was saying, and if there was even more movie, it was like, I don't know if I'd want to watch it.
But
more of their relationship.
What I feel like this was a somewhat promising work by somebody who was, like you said, 17 or 18 years old, wrote a movie, filmed it, and it was like his thesis for college.
And then Lawrence Fishburne's character would come in and sit him down and explain what he had done wrong. Character came in and he was like, you have not done so well. Maybe you should stop doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it was moronic. It was stupid beyond. But the thing is there's flashes of that Boyz II Hood brilliance, I think, in the I'm going to college and the cops treat me differently than they treat the white kids.
That was good.
Show your ID.
Busta Rhymes and Ice Cube are like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not gonna do the thing you're telling me to do just because you're the white cops, and they kind of have to back down. Mm-hmm. Like, that's actually very interesting and also very, like, pertinent to what's going on in the world right now. Like, Busta Rhymes' character and Ice Cube's character and their friends really frighten the Michael Rapaport character, and they really bother him to the point where, you know, if you look at it afterwards...
Gets a gun and shoots them?
Right, but if you look at it afterwards, it was like, they were pretty aggressive, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
you could argue that if you were racist.
Right.
If you were an idiot, racist, 71-year-old president.
If you were
specifically.
Yeah.
Right, so I think that part of it really spoke to me in the sense of, like, spoke to me in the sense of, like, I thought it was brilliant in the sense that he was saying, why are you telling us to bust up the party? Why are you telling us this shouldn't be happening? Why are you asking for our ID? That stuff was good. And that in response to the, you know, white people who got away with stuff was kind of interesting. And I was like, ugh, this could have gone somewhere. This is some interesting stuff.
Right.
But he went with, like, so many cliches about the college experience, including, like, the rape and the lesbian exploration and the everything. Not that any of that is wrong. Like, fine.
Right.
But, like, pick a lane. Or, like, make an HBO series about this and have
it could've
13 episodes or whatever.
Right. Flesh it out a little bit more. But I don't know if he definitely wasn't the person. Thank you. To be telling Christy Swanson's story. You would need somebody else to have told a female freshman story.
Yeah, it was very, very clear that she was not a real character.
Right. And whether or not Michael Rappaport, I mean, I guess that...
Let's come down on Rappaport.
It was just too extreme to even acknowledge.
It had to happen too fast. For this, you're right. That's where it would have been a mini-series would have been better. Because Rappaport's arc, it's just like, oh, now he's a skinhead, you know?
Yeah.
So,
is that too loud?
Maybe a little too loud.
I'm just enjoying some pudding.
Made by Kathy.
But I thought that, honestly, I came into it kind of expecting to think that was trash, that part of it.
Uh-huh.
And even though I know that Michael Rappaport himself is trash, I feel like he does a pretty good job here.
Well, he's a good...
It wasn't him. I thought he was good at it.
He is a good actor.
He shows
Mighty Aphrodite.
But
he's enjoyable and beautiful
I
girls.
mean, even in this,
But
I think he was the best that anybody could have been.
Yeah.
He shows a lot of complicated emotions about what's happening and what he's feeling and what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you see, like, his backstory in his face.
Yep.
He does a really good job, actually.
I
Okay,
agree.
let's fast forward.
It just happens too
He
fast.
goes up to the top of the whatever clock tower, and he's got his rifle, and he's shooting people. He apparently kills 2 people.
Just 2 people.
One of them is Tyra Banks,
Yep.
and one of them is we don't find out.
We don't find out.
Which I feel like if you're going to say 2 people died, you really ought to tell us who the other person is,
or
right?
at least show that person.
Falling
during that should have been
like,
an edit. Is
so,
them getting
so
shot.
is it he is such a bad aim, or he picked these 2 people? Like, I feel like that's a pretty important thing.
Well,
to say,
I also
right?
was reading that he was originally supposed to have shot Omar Epps. Omar Epps' character was supposed to die in the original script. But John Singleton...
Well, good thing they held that back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
He changed that.
But that's who he
a
should
much
have
more
shot,
subtle
though, right?
movie.
Yes. Yeah, that's
that
the
would make more sense.
That
would
is
make
a logical conclusion, and he was correct when he first wrote the screenplay.
No, I feel like that's who he should have shot.
Yeah,
Like,
and then you can make the
yes,
case that he was
but that would just
aiming
be
for...
so over the top.
Well, right. And so you make the case that he was aiming for Omar Epps, but hit Tyra Banks.
Yeah,
well, and you
that's
could
what
shoot
I
it that
assumed.
way, right? You could shoot it the way that it looks like.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what he's aiming for. And you shoot like from down the scope at Omar Epps, and he pulls the trigger, and then they run to the left, and he hits Tyra Banks.
Right.
That's
right.
easy to do.
That would, but no, but
why would he shoot for her? I don't think any of that scene makes a whole lot of sense, and that 2 people die. He's up on a tower. He could clearly shoot a lot more people than 2.
Yeah. Well, he
was
shot.
pretty conflicted about it. Though.
Yeah,
I mean, he
that's
felt
true.
strongly enough to do it, but obviously he
He obviously
felt
had
that
a
afterwards.
mental issue because he does kill himself at the end.
Well, I don't know if that... I mean, I'm a psychiatrist, so I can't weigh in on all this.
Yeah.
But, like, just because you're feeling horrible and guilty right after you do something horrible doesn't mean you have a mental issue.
No. If you feel horrible after you kill people, you are obviously...
You should probably go to the doctor. Is that what you're saying?
Like,
After
if
you
you feel
kill somebody?
super horrible after you kill people and that makes you want to kill yourself, that is not, like, a
No,
psychiatric
he
illness.
has a mental issue.
Oh, hilarious.
No, you're right. I
But
guess I can see that.
it's so upsetting because in a lot of ways, campus rape and racism on campus, like racism on campus is such a important issue that deserves its own movie or movies.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's the movie Dear White People and the TV show Dear White People, which I haven't seen, which I'm assuming do a better job at addressing some of these issues because it's 20 years later and it's critically acclaimed as opposed to this being reviled.
Well, this was 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, so 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that, though, because, like, I feel like they do try to address things, and your character, like, Omar Epps' character's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tyra Banks' character's fine.
Right.
Ice Cube's character's fine. Oh, wait.
No, yeah,
all the black characters.
But there are just so many characters.
Well, and because...
Regina King was great, the little bit that she had.
The white characters are
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes is actually not that bad.
No, he's great. He's great.
And it's because John Singleton knows those characters, and he was able to...
Right.
It's the Christy Swanson character.
Yeah, why was that even
Jennifer
in there? Just make it
Connelly's
about
character.
race if you want to make it about race.
Jennifer Connelly's character is worse than Christy Swanson's.
Well, apparently they cut some out, but it's like I wrote down, I think she had maybe 4 lines. And did you like the eyeglass chain and all the like grandma sweaters?
Oh, yeah. Right.
She's just like, let me swoop in with my overalls and hug you.
Right.
That's all she is.
And
I mean, I'd like to know her. She
confession time,
sweet.
I'm in love with Jennifer Connelly.
Well,
so
yeah.
Maybe
they were just trying to make her less sexy.
Yeah.
You know, because she's super sexy.
Well, like, if you could have sex with Jennifer Connelly or that dude with the stupid blonde haircut, who would you have sex with?
What's the one with the blonde haircut?
Well, okay. Whenever Christy Swanson's having sex with the guy and the girl.
You clearly were not paying attention to the guy.
No. I was.
Weird. But, like, even if I'm a girl, I'm thinking Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
He was very nice,
I mean, inventing the
gave
habits.
that touching speech, wink, wink, to
right.
Michael Rappaport. I'm not like them!
That's right.
Oh, yeah. That reminded me of, like, not all men. Not all white people. That's all he was. He's like, how come you're mean to me? Not all guys.
I'm not exactly.
Not all white people.
That's right. Yeah, that was kind of silly too. The big thing is like he went and got the condom. Oh, he's so great.
Oh, and the thing focused on the condom. Like, if you're gonna have sex with a condom, you're a really good guy.
Exactly. You're the hero of the story.
Right. Yeah. God bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna build a monument to you.
There are times where it's somewhat complex. They're like, this society has never valued you, and I've read all these books, and here's this new book, and how dare you reading Langston Hughes just for a class, blah blah blah.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
And then other times it's like straight up third grade racism, sexism, nonsense.
Silly stuff. What were you gonna say, Alicia?
Oh, I don't know. I feel really good about the Ice Cube character. I really do. I thought he was great. But maybe you guys can explain this to me, and I don't want to say the N-word. But he says run, N-word, run. Like not making fun of, but trying to teach
Omar Epps.
Malik. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are using you for the scholarship. You better run so that you can be here. But how does he feel about white people that have scholarships there, you know? Like, that's not...
Well, I think that's actually interesting, though, because it's a complicated issue of black people have an inordinate amount of athletic scholarships. And then...
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And then his teacher, the African Lawrence Fishburne, says, you know, blah, 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 about your athletic scholarship. And he's like, I'm not a dummy with an athletic scholarship. Right. So it's like, they only value us for our physical... You know, being able to win at football and being able to run fast and whatever. So it's almost like slavery.
But it was almost like, anyway, you know what
I'm saying. I think it's a weird thing. I wonder if he had in mind, like, Boys to Men in college.
Yeah.
And he could have written that, but then he decided, I want to make this more expansive, you know, world of college where everybody has... some oppression in some way, shape, or form.
I mean,
and he kind of just overdid it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's probably interested in this. This is probably a story he wanted to Christy Swanson story, something he wanted to tell, but it was like, no, you're not qualified to tell it. Oh, what is that?
This pudding is delicious.
All right.
I feel like that's a commercial. He made that pudding from Blue Apron. The ingredients came to our house today. Our kids love it.
From the website on Squarespace. I heard about it on Audible.
Subscribe.
And there you go.
But yeah, I feel like But like his career after this was so spotty. It was like
John Singleton's.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the Shaft remake, he did one of the Fast and Furious movies,
Which again is like,
It's really disappointing to think that he made, Boys in the Hood, which we could probably do an episode about. But there's something so flawed about this movie that is like unparalleled. I don't think there's another movie that has this amount of ambition and this amount of quality that is such a terrible movie.
Yep. Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so super bad.
Yeah.
Like you would never recommend this to anyone.
It's more super bad than super bad.
Which is good.
Super bad's good.
Right. Okay, I'm so confused right now.
All right.
Yeah.
So
did you have any favorite parts? If the
Yes.
favorite was that it was so horrible it made you laugh, like
Ice
one
Cube.
of my favorite parts,
Yes,
if
let's
you
hear it.
wanted
Yes,
to know,
I do want to know.
was the
She's got
exercise foreplay. Didn't you think that was great with Tyra Banks and Omar?
I would have been more inclined with that editing being more linear than the
it made me laugh so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
They're stretching and it leads into them in bed.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought it was genius.
Well,
in a
they stretched
make me
out
laugh
all their
way.
sex muscles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I've been doing wrong.
Gary, stay after the podcast and I'll explain how
Okay.
sex works
Wow.
to you.
Go back to college.
Yeah, I need to. That was silly. Tyra
Yeah.
Banks was probably my favorite, or Pete Sampras's wife at the beginning.
Tyra Banks' performance was, I thought,
blonde lady is Pete Sampras's wife.
Oh, I
kind
didn't know.
of good, but she also had like just one sentiment the whole movie, which is like, chill out, Omar Epps. You're at
No, she
college.
was like angry at him for being angry. I felt like.
Chill out, Omar Epps. You're at college.
You're at college.
Yeah.
Take it.
And she was actually fine. She's
She's
never
fine.
been in anything else.
No,
Yeah,
she had
for
acted
being
in
a model, she was good.
She had acted in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air before this.
Oh yeah, so nothing else.
Yes. Wait. That's terrible. No.
I don't know.
You know what else was good?
What?
Billy yelling into the phone. Shut up, you black bitch!
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you had just seen the movie, you would remember that great part too. But-
Right,
good.
and it turned and it
And then
it cut to her hearing that, and she was like, "Something's going down."
That's right.
It's not that you just raped a woman.
That's right.
It's that you just called me a bitch. A
And
black
then
bitch.
the way that was also, like, Regina King's face was, like, closer, and Christy Swanson. It's like, that's interesting. Okay.
Wait, it's like women are victims.
Yeah, they are.
They're gonna get killed or raped, or they're gonna call upon their friends to beat somebody up. Like,
Yep.
I know that he doesn't mean to do that, and I know that that's not what he aims to. But the women, like, just don't try to tell women's stories,
Right.
John Singleton.
Right.
You just didn't do it well
No,
at all.
not at all.
Sorry.
And that may have been Poetic Justice's problem also. We'll have to-
I don't
we'll have
know.
to
I
look.
never saw it.
Yep.
I think we're gonna love Poetic Justice.
Yeah, I think so.
It's possible.
All right. We going to give it some ratings, Eric?
So 4 stars would be like a
You're a
doctorate.
senior?
Doctorate.
Okay.
3 stars would be like masters.
I would say you're a junior.
2 stars undergrad.
I'm sophomore.
1 star GED.
I'm going to say freshman. Okay.
All right.
Alicia, what are you going to give higher learning? Higher? Higher?
I'm gonna have to give it a 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's pretty harsh.
yeah.
Eric, what are you going to give higher learning?
I give it 2.
Yeah, I was going to give it 2.
For the-
I'm going to give it
Guys.
2 also.
Just because
So
it's
generous.
Yeah.
I think it's
mean,
a carry.
Because it's ambitious.
There
There are parts that are enjoyable.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
What?
The very end of the movie, it says unlearn. You
Unlearn.
You guys unlearned,
That's
didn't
right. That's
We
right.
did unlearn.
Yep.
you? You
Good
feel
point.
so
Again-
grateful.
I lived it. So that's why I give it 2 stars.
Good point.
I felt like you were represented in
I
this
did,
movie.
yeah. It was my story. All 3 of them. It's like, I'm a young black skinhead that's been raped.
I want to give it a try. Like, I want to give it
a try? You want to watch it again?
No, I mean, I want to give it, like, points
Good
for
try.
trying.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Because I don't think that it's a hack kind of a movie.
Yeah, I think there are worse.
He wants to say something.
Yep.
And there are parts where he's actually saying something a lot of Hollywood movies don't say.
Yeah, I respect. Okay, 1.5.
Oh, we did it. We got her to move up.
And I used to love this movie.
Yeah.
Welcome to the real world.
All right. Well, Alicia, thank you very much for being on another episode of My So-Called Podcast. Yeah. Go ahead and subscribe to our podcast in Apple Podcasts. Leave a review, rate us. Follow us online at My So-Called Pod on Twitter. Like our Facebook page.
Like our Facebook page, email us.
Email us at mysocalledpodcast@gmail.com.
Visit us on the internet.
Yeah, mysocalledpodcast.com.
Alicia, are you on the internet?
No, what's that?
Okay.
Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Gary Linton.
I'm at the Eric Spiegel. I talk mostly about politics, unfortunately.
He does. It's good stuff, though. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Unlearn.
Unlearn.
American Pie.
Bye.